and that's not a problem for you.
There's tons of physical evidence to prove.
Okay, what physical evidence?
Well,
yeah, go ahead and name some.
Yeah, name them.
Like I meant, like before NASA, they used they have seismograph stations, right? And they use when there's an earthquake, it sends P waves.
That proves a curve. How exactly?
Because there's two types of waves.
That's measuring vibrations in the ground. It's not fucking measuring curve. So there you go again. Well, no. Well, we lost all the data on all the moon rocks. But what about the price of tea in China? This is pretty much your argument.
No, that's what you were doing when you brought up moon rocks.
No, I'm not. I'm asking for the physical data.
That's what you're doing, P.
No.
Dude, you are not measuring curve.
I'm trying to stick to the topic. You guys are talking about fucking moon rocks and flight telemetry data. Like that has nothing to do with
you're the one who believes in it.
We're just asking the physical evidence that these pictures are real. How the fuck is that an absurd claim? Please explain.
It's just like totally irrelevant. Like the price of cheese.
How is it irrelevant?
It is directly relevant.
The shape of the Earth
it is directly relevant.
Flight telemetry data and moon rocks don't have anything.
So you told me that flight telemetry data of when you took the pictures does not apply to your cartoons? Are you joking?
Can you show me more respect than you're showing me currently? Are you capable?
What?
You're being disrespectful.
You don't show respect for the verifiable method of proof at all. You treat it like dog shit.
You're asking me retarded questions and then you overtalk me when
There's nothing retarded about the scientific method, observation, measurement, and experiment, and you don't operate by any of.
Yeah. We went to the moon. We took pictures of the Earth. Okay, show me the flight data. Doesn't exist. Okay, show me some of the moon rocks we can test independently. Oh, the moon rocks don't exist. So what evidence do you have? You have nothing other than cartoons.
I would tell you, but you're just going to disrespectfully overtalk me.
Go ahead and tell me. I'm all ears, brother.
Are you
Please
drunk?
do.
You're the one making the claims.
Yeah, and I can't make any claims because you overtalk me. It's out of
you already made claims, and yet you're backtracking.
I'm not backtracking.
Yeah, don't start talking about seismographs on Uranus, dude.
You're saying, we can detect curvature of the Earth through seismographs, and yet you're not actually proving it.
What? You're not letting me talk.
Yeah. Your story doesn't make sense. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's all about the price of tea in China. Derek, earthquakes prove the price of tea in China. That's
what he's saying, basically.
No, that's what you're doing with the moon rocks and the flight telemetry data. That is
nothing.
What do you
mean? We want a physical object to test and verify.
I mean, like moon rocks and flight telemetry data. It's like talking about the price of tea in China. Since
really?
It isn't
really?
on topic.
We want the data from the pictures you took.
You can't stay on topic because you're fucking on drugs or whatever.
That is on topic. What are you talking about? It's directly asking for the data for when you took the pictures.
I might as well go to the bar and talk to someone who's fall down drunk. And, they'd be able to stay on topic about similar to you,
We're the ones who are staying on topic. You are not. You said you could prove it, and now you're here, sitting here, I can't really actually, you guys are detective boys.
So, yeah, I can prove
the issue.
It's really easy to prove the Earth is a sphere. There's, like, tons of evidence for it.
Okay, great.
Go for it. Go.
Right, okay, so when there's an earthquake...
Pictures. How does that measure?
When there's an earthquake.
An earthquake doesn't measure curve.
What are you asking us a question for if you're the one who's proving it?
I'm not asking.
All you're doing is talking about the price of tea in China. That's all you have.
Trying to talk about, like,
what about the sky is blue and that Uranus farts swamp gas and Venus takes a shit? What about the sun being yellow? Hey, did you guys know that water is fucking wet? That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Oh, man. Dude, if you're the one proving something, you don't need to ask us questions. Just like I told you.
I'm not asking you a question.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you weren't drunk, you could tell.
I'm sober, sorry.
Oh, I'm not asking you a question, Alki. So, what I was saying was that Earth.
So now you're going to add homs because you're losing debate.
An ad hominem.
Right, he needs to detect a character.
Okay, so you don't know what an ad hominem is. An ad hominem.
He needs to detect a character.
Here, let me explain to you what
he
it
lost the point.
So now you're going to talk about that. Now you're going to give us an education about ad homs instead of directly.
You need to know what an ad
it's all about the price of tea in China. I know, brother. It's so important.
So an ad hominem
is... Hey guys, you know how seismographs has something to do with the curvature of the Earth? Oh, I'm not going to explain it to you. I'm going to ask you a question about it instead.
What question did
I ask? That's my method of proof.
That's the Socratic method. Yes.
You were asked, how do seismographs prove the curvature of the Earth? And then you continued with asking us a question?
No, I didn't ask you any questions. I would never ask you a question.
That is exactly what you did.
I would never ask you a question because you don't know the answer to anything.
So then prove how seismographs...
If I want to know the answer, I would research
prove how seismographs...
I wouldn't go to talk to
determine the curvature of the Earth.
If I want to know information,
You're the one who made the claim.
Yeah, if I want to know information, I research it. I don't ask drunks on Discord.
What are you talking about, dude? You research it how? By fucking studying the price of tea in China. That's what we've gotten from.
Google it and shit, you know.
Oh, Google it and shit, because you can explain it.
But basically, all you have is cartoons.
To prove the Earth is a sphere, the earthquakes are pretty good.
Yeah, show us the flight data for when you took those pictures, or give us something from space to test that you've been to space. Is that an absurd claim to ask for?
I don't need those things to prove the Earth is a sphere.
Oh, no, really? You don't need observation?
No, I don't.
Oh, really? So how else do you determine the Earth is curving?
I can logically deduce...
You saw some cartoons. That's your fucking evidence, dude.
I can logically deduce that the Earth is a sphere.
Oh, you can logically...
How can you logically put it forward to us?
Well, I mean, you guys...
What do you mean?
We're asking for flight data. We're asking for moon rocks to test. We're asking for ways to back up your claim.
You guys aren't...
In the physical...
You guys aren't illogical. I mean, you guys aren't...
How is that illogical?
The logical answer is What's your logical answer?
Well, if you guys are flat earthers because of you're emotionally attached to the flat Earth, so I can't.
No. We just asked for your logical answer. It's because they fucking
lost all the moon rocks. They lost all the data because every picture of Earth has a change.
Hold up.
Okay, so the Earth is flat because they lost moon rocks. Okay.
He just said he had a logical answer, and then he didn't give one.
You guys don't let me talk. You just keep spewing bullshit.
Then talk. What is your logical answer that the Earth curves?
Well, I already went over that. I mean, you can logically...
No, you didn't go over it. No, you keep detracting from it.
No, I was talking earlier about navigation.
You just said you had a logical answer. Now I would like to hear it.
You said people have a job of measuring the Earth's curve, but you can't seem to find any data for these people that do their job. That's not odd at all.
I don't even...
And you're sitting there not explaining it.
Why would you expect me to have data from a geodetic surveyor?
So listen, let me tell you something. When you go into debate a subject with somebody, I take the time to actually go learn about the subject. I just don't fucking debate things on feelings.
That's why pieces of shit like P. Morris can't debate because he has zero proof.
I learned that plane surveying difference from geodetic surveying and the fact that...
Great, show.
So logically and show us.
To find the data very easily.
Fucking babies.
Go.
I can't finish a sentence.
What do you know? Not babies. You're the one being a baby if you're not going to do it.
You're not letting me finish a sentence.
So finish it. Go. No, and don't laugh. Finish. And you won't, because you can't.
I can't finish the sentence
you're a lying piece of shit. And I haven't been able to do. I give you a complete breath.
No, man.
And then you laugh instead, and then you don't finish.
Because
Eric, just be quiet.
You interrupt me.
What's your logical answer? Go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go!
Yeah, I can logically deduce
Go!
the Earth
Go!
is a sphere.
Okay, how you logically...
what?
Hold on, Derek, hold on.
Jesus Christ.
How you logically deducing
What a
that?
retard fuck! I'm never gonna actually logically or reasonably prove to you the Earth is a sphere, and I'm gonna laugh. Yeah.
How do you logically
That's
deduce
how
that?
retarded you are.
Because navigation, right? People navigate.
People navigate on a flat map, you retard. Planes and boats use a 2D map, not a 3D map. Try again. That's common knowledge.
Yeah, but people...
Yeah, but who?
People
Who?
that
Who are
navigate...
these people? People that navigate use an AE map. They use a 2D map.
No.
So, what is your...
No.
Are you joking?
If you look at an AE map, the distances to places are all fucked up. Like the distances aren't correct, and it gets more fucked up.
Obviously, they're not. We're not disputing that, dumbass.
So how do you?
Are you really operating on that map alone?
How are you gonna navigate if the distances are different on the map?
They navigate on a 2D map. Name us one plane or boat that uses a 3D map. None of them do. They don't. Fact is, they don't. In fact, I can actually... Here, let me find an article about this so you can read the facts.
They navigate on the globe. They don't navigate on a flat plane. So.
Okay, who navigates on a
anyone
globe?
who navigates, like on a ship, if you drive a car, if you fucking...
Marine navigation uses... Oh, so your GPS uses a 3D map? Not a flat plane when you drive a car. Are you sure about that? Because
a 3D map? I don't even know what you're talking
you use a
about.
3D map for your GPS. You sure about that?
I didn't mention GPS.
Have you ever used GPS?
I'm not familiar with how GPS works. All I know...
You just mentioned how cars navigate. So let me ask you a question. When you pull out your maps of America, we're not using GPS. You mentioned maps. How many times have you seen a 3D map in America?
I've never seen a 3D map.
Neither have we.
So who are these people that are using 3D maps? I'd like to hear.
No one said it.
So we already proved that cars don't use 2D maps. GPSs don't use 2D maps.
So you've already interrupted me before I could finish my sentence. Again. And
Okay.
you will not stop interrupting or let other people talk. Are you drunk? Are you on drugs? What kind of drugs do you like to do?
So ad homs. So now we're going with ad homs. Please explain to us.
I have to explain what the difference between an ad hom and an insult to you. Okay, so an ad hom would be as if like my argument was like I'm right because you are a drug addict. That would be an ad hom. That's an argument. But if I just insult you, if I'm just like you are a drug addict, that's not an ad hom. That's just an insult.
That's the same thing. You're using a synonym.
No, it's different because the difference is. If my argument is you are incorrect because you are a drug
fucking
addict,
retarded. You are
that's an
literally
ad
a fucking
hominem.
retard.
But if I just go, you're a drug addict, then all I'm doing is insulting you. It's not an ad hominem.
No, you're using synonyms and
No,
trying
but
to...
it's actually legit. I mean, you said you could prove the Earth is a sphere, and you're not actually doing so. So you are, in fact, a retard.
I am a retard because
Yeah, so basically your only evidence is you saw some cartoons in a science book.
That's
your actual...
Well, dude, you gotta understand, I was dumbed down through vaccination and fluoride in the water, so it's like my brain is hardly...
Oh, I'm not denying that. I mean, clearly you
Dude,
got something...
apparently you're older than us, so you don't have an excuse. Go fuck yourself.
Also, education dumbed me down, right? Because the whole point of the education system...
You said you could prove the Earth curves, and we are waiting.
Yeah, I think I proved it like twice now.
No, you haven't proved it.
With what? How? Explain. You started talking about swamp gas on Uranus. The price of tea in China.
Well, because like, you know,
because ship captains, pal.
All these
even
museums,
though they use plain trigonometry.
Oh my God, Derek! Derek, no, you just proved it right there. Cats do take a shit, therefore Earth is a globe.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
Yep. Open and shut case, Johnson. Let's spread some crack on this motherfucker. Let's go.
It's a globe because these museums lost 300 pounds of moon rocks and there's petrified wood.
No.
And
I asked you for physical evidence that we went to space, and it doesn't exist.
Moon rocks
you
wouldn't
said we could prove the Earth curves.
Moon rocks wouldn't
psycho.
prove we went to space.
Yes, moon rocks would actually prove we went to space.
What do you think meteors are? Do you think they're like pieces of the dome that like fall off?
Did they go to space and count the meteors while they were in space?
No, we're gonna talk about evidence of space, right?
You don't have to go to the moon.
Every opportunity.
I'm deflecting.
Well, when we test meteorites, they don't.
Dude, you don't
Where
have
does
to
the
go
Earth
to the moon
curve,
to get
P?
moon rocks. You can get moon rocks.
Where does the Earth curve? Where?
Where does it curve?
Where?
Show us a measurement. Show us where 8 inches squared per mile is ever measured.
But on both models, you experience a flat Earth.
And here we go. He's not actually going to prove it.
Yeah, all they got is the price of tea in China. That's all.
I agree. I admit you can't observe the curvature on the surface of the Earth with your naked
Okay,
eye.
so
There we
curvature.
go. Bam!
Yeah,
Got him. Thank you, P.
Got him. That's why I was saying, like, there's more to proof and evidence.
So much for your argument how you can prove your curves when you say you can't observe it.
Yeah, but
thank you.
There's more to evidence and proof.
But no. Proof requires observation. Period.
It does not.
Yep, all them scientists and NASA are just
It doesn't
they're just
require
dummies.
observation.
Or
all
like
the
all the NASA astronauts that take secret
all the real smart people, you know.
I mean, if you really think NASA astronauts are so much smarter than you, you're not being honest.
Derek. They're just so it's ad homs and arguments of authority.
Right,
it's like
yep. They lost everything.
They already lost the debate. When you do ad homs and arguments of authority, it's a sign you lost.
What about your character, pal? What about your character? Where is your PhD?
Arguments of authority.
Right.
It's a sign of
not authority at all. Just
never mind the fact that I've actually spoken to people who work at NASA.
Arguments of education.
And they also think you're full of shit.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Find one PhD, a real
people
PhD.
I've actually spoken to at NASA know you're full of shit, P. So go fuck yourself. You lying piece of shit. You're like, I can prove the Earth curves, and then you never do so. And then,
you start talking about how Uranus
you
swamp
can
gas
never observe the Earth curving, which you are supposed to do on a 24,901 mile circumference ball. Period. It is unavoidable. There's no wiggle room.
On both models, you wouldn't.
You have to be able to see the curve. Period. Even at 10 miles.
Well, you don't even have to see it. It's a time of lasers.
But we don't.
GPS.
We never do. Unless it's through.
You can't even measure it. You can't show it. You can't measure it.
It doesn't exist.
So where does it exist? It only exists in your brain in the fucking shitty cartoons that NASA put.
You have to go to 60,000 feet, then you can see.
I'm sorry if your
60,
space camp
First off, I know you're full of shit. Because if you actually knew what NASA said, you have to go a minimum of 150 miles to see curvature. So you don't even know your own fucking. It ain't 60,000 feet.
150 miles?
It's 150 miles according to NASA. So you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You basically got some cartoons, and you saw Star Trek one time. That's basically your fucking knowledge.
Yeah.
See, unlike you, I actually went up and looked up the facts before I entered a debate. I just don't base things on my fucking feelings.
No, yeah, I read an article about, like, I read a lot about how...
Oh, you read an article?
Read the article. If you read a real article, you know it's 150 miles because that's NASA's official word, which you don't even fucking know the basic facts. What's the temperature of space?
Okay, I'll Google it right now. How hot?
No, I didn't ask you to
the
Google it.
motherfucker. No,
It's
what
minus
is it?
270 Celsius, minus 450 Fahrenheit. What's the distance of the moon to the Earth? 250,000 miles. You should probably learn some fucking facts before you enter.
You came in here trying to claim all sorts of knowledge there, P.
You're just
And now your pants are dropped.
Not really. You guys are just.
It's space.
grandstanding
Okay,
bullies.
whoa. Let's get him with this one, Derek. Is space.
Do you think bullying someone is?
It ain't a
No,
matter
that's-
of bullying when you're the one making the bullshit claim that you can't prove.
But you guys are
Is
bullies.
And then
space
when
a
you get
vacuum?
proven
P-Mars.
wrong, you're like, oh, it's
hold
bullying.
on, Derek.
All right.
Hold on,
All
Derek. I'm gonna get him a good
All
one. Is space a... P-Mars, is space...
You cut off.
I-
Did you
so
say
now.
that space is real? I'm assuming.
Is space
You keep cutting off at the end. I'm assuming you're asking if space
space a vacuum?
a vacuum. It's considered a vacuum, but it's not technically a vacuum.
Okay, why is it not technically a vacuum?
I guess there's no
Because-
answer.
There is matter in space, and a vacuum is devoid of all matter.
No, incorrect. So, what space is a lack of pressure, and the effect is that space pulls matter into itself, which has a vacuum-like effect. See, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. You don't know your facts. You claim you know science, but you haven't even taken 5 fucking minutes to even learn science.
I never claimed I know science. I really don't even.
Yeah, this is
Yes,
exactly
you
what you
did.
came.
No.
That's exactly what you came here and claimed. You claimed you were an expert, that Earth is a globe, because I know these facts. And in fact, you don't know shit.
I never claimed I was an expert.
You came in here calling us dumb, and now you can't defend yourself.
I was calling you guys alcoholics and drug addicts.
No, that's not how you came in here.
Yeah, it is. I was calling you an alcoholic.
You said that you could prove the curvature of the Earth.
I did say that, but when I was insulting you, I wasn't. I don't think I said you were dumb. I think I just said you were an alcoholic.
And we gave you plenty of time, like, okay, prove the curvature of the Earth. And then you you started like attacking our character.
poisoning.
Yeah,
the
so,
well.
dude,
What is wrong with you, dude?
Dude, he already lost the debate. Ad homs and arguments of authority are all obvious signs of a losing debate. So,
Yeah, I lost the debate.
Big time.
You guys are flat Earth philosophers.
Thank you, Pete. It's not a philosophy when we can actually prove it by the scientific method. Thank you.
yeah, we just don't feel that the Earth has a curve because I saw a pretty picture on NASA.gov in my science book in school.
Congratulations. That must be very fulfilling and give your life purpose and meaning.
Well,
Yeah.
more than lies do, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You were right on the internet today. Now, you can. The whole rest of the day is a win.
So why are you here then?
I like making you guys feel good about yourselves, but you need someone to defeat in a debate, or else.
Well, we are. You call us
Probably-
drug addicts. I've heard you smoking weed the whole fucking time.
Yeah, if you didn't have someone to win a debate against online, you'd probably kill yourself, right? I just saved your life, dude.
So basically, all you have is ad homs and the price of tea in China
I mean, I'm saving
and
lives.
some pretty.
And no, and honestly, I mean, if you're going to tell somebody the truth, I mean, oftentimes, especially when it negates mainstream thought, you have to be able to make a person laugh. You really do. Otherwise, they'll light your ass on fire.
You don't know the temperature of space. You don't know the distance between the moon to the Earth. You don't know what space is termed as. You don't know the minimum distance to sea curve. What do you actually?
What's the temperature of the ice wall, dude?
Oh my
Do you know-
god.
Do you know that? What's the height of the dome? Do you know that?
Thanks for defending me, Don.
What's the speed of the magic moon moving around in the flat Earth ether?
Fucking
Do you know that?
Don't change the
Don
subject.
is
What's the
big.
curvature
You
of
don't
the
know
Earth?
any of those things, do you? So you're not
What's
really
the
knowledgeable
curvature
about
of the
your
Earth?
model
What's
either.
the curvature of the Earth?
What's the
Prove it.
flatness of the Earth?
Check
Prove
this
it.
shit out.
Prove
So
the
pretty much,
curvature of the
Don,
Earth when you're the
you're-
one
Prove the
claiming it's
flatness
a
of the
false.
Earth.
Hold on. Is Derek knows he's going back to the price of tea in China?
That's right. They keep deflecting.
Well, you haven't proved the flatness of the Earth.
That's
have
all
you?
I got.
You just keep asserting it.
They can't prove curve of the Earth, so they're like, oh, what about this and that?
You can't
seem
prove
to
flatness
be
of the
very
Earth, can you? So you
emotional.
just say,
Yeah, we can. We every experiment measures flat. Funny.
well, I haven't seen it, dude. I don't believe you.
So
Your
prove
experiment's
the curve of the
probably
Earth.
biased.
When you're
as
the one
well.
who claims.
So you
they're
have no
false.
experiments, but we have experiments, and those experiments are
What is your
false.
experiment to prove the Earth's flatness?
Lasers, GP.
Lasers are prone to refraction.
Okay, so we actually have tried to measure the Earth and
GPS
measured it
is
flat.
based
Hold
on
on. You have nothing, and we have something, but we're the
Well,
wrong.
we
ones.
did actually try to measure curve. It isn't there.
We have loads of experiments of obstruction.
Okay, great. Show us this data. Go ahead.
What do you want? Photos of ships?
Okay, post it right in lobby. I'll read it. Go ahead.
The argument
And don't-
begins and ends with curvature of the Earth. Period.
Okay.
If you
Well, I've
can't
got
prove
the
the
Shows
Earth
8
curve,
inches
you
square
got
per
a
mile.
problem.
I've
In
got
any
photos.
math.
I've got the effects of the curve. I haven't got the literal curve in a photo.
Great. Show us the data. Show us the math. Go ahead.
Show it.
Data. No, I
Please.
don't have the data and the math. I'm not
Well,
one of
come
those.
on.
Oh, so you actually you have nothing. Is basically
Show me the data and the math of your flat Earth laser measurement.
Sure, no problem.
That's where the argument lies. For crying out loud,
Drop it in the text room now.
I'm not going to ad hom you for crying out loud. I'm just saying. I mean, that is where the argument lies.
You're
if the Earth
claiming
is actually
flatness
curving.
and you haven't proved it. That's where
Yes,
the
I
argument
have.
lies.
I have.
No,
Actually.
you haven't.
All we observe is a flat Earth. All we
Yeah.
can measure is zero curve. And all we can
Science will be
experiment.
turned on its head if you prove
Stop
the
talking
Earth's
over
flat.
me. All we can experiment with in real life, where water finds and maintains its level,
Yeah,
is
it does
with
that on
a
a
flat
globe,
Earth.
dude. It does that on a globe.
Oh, so there you go. There's the data on our experiments measuring flat.
A ball Earth can do none of those things.
Show us your data.
And what I just gave you were the requirements of the scientific method. And if you can't pass it, you don't have proof.
There's more than one scientific.
Period.
There's more than one scientific method.
That's not data.
Oh, really?
That's pictures.
Something that
That's not
doesn't
data.
require observation, measurement, and experiment? You're trying to say there's something else?
Yeah.
Like what?
So pretty much you're saying you guys have experiments, but you can't provide any of the data. So pretty
Well,
Go ahead, tell me your
Dude, I'm
different
looking
scientific
at your
method
file.
that
There's
doesn't
no data
involve
there.
observation, measurement, and experiment. Tell me.
I
Go ahead,
don't know off the top of my head.
and don't stutter.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, that's right, because you're full of shit. You don't have
well,
anything
no,
that can be
he's full of-
proven.
he's full
Yeah,
of pot because all
that's
I've
a
heard
lie.
is smoking weed, dude.
You're
No.
done like a house of fucking cards.
Yo, this isn't data. This is just a file of pics.
Do you still at least you know I'm P Mars now, right? I'm the real P Mars. You agree?
Well, it's funny that the real P Mars is in several Flat Earth discords, and you don't show to be the.
You still
And you don't sound like the same dude I spoke to 2 years ago.
You don't think I'm P Mars?
You just don't.
There's no P Mars.
Dude, I'm waiting for the data. You just sent me pics. You claim data. Where is it?
Way to ruin the conversation, Don.
Sorry.
And I also remember a P. Mars who was willing to consider the information presented to him and not just dismiss it outright. That's the P. Mars I remember.
I did a little research. Google says you can see the curve.
And not just make unfounded claims and not prove it.
Yeah, show us the data. Every experiment we do measures
That's
flat.
the
Show
P.
us
Mars I
You just
remember.
promised to show me your data, and you sent me a...
Yeah, I linked you a video of the actual experiment on video.
No, I
why
want
they-
data. Data.
Here's.
Thanks for the
This is what you told me
donation,
you'd give
Logan.
me. First, you give me a link
If
with
you're
10
claiming the Earth
flat Earth
curve,
memes in it.
you have to prove your claim because you're the one making the claim. You have to prove it.
But like, it's pretty difficult to prove things. Like you can provide evidence.
Yeah, no kidding. Even from a Glober point of view, I could put myself in your shoes because I was a Glober. Like, man, how do I prove these flat earthers wrong?
Oh no, I've seen Star Trek and I saw some pretty pictures on NASA.gov. Debate done. Star.
That's the.
I mean, you guys are talking with experienced Globers who have switched because we know it's bullshit.
Well, I feel like flat Earth takes like most people can't.
We're not flat earthers because we want to take the heat or ridicule or ostracism. I mean, if you really think that, or we're in it for popularity or any whatever, yeah, you're just simply mistaken.
He kicked Don.
No.
Yeah, you're in it to be special. You know?
Oh, really? Special.
Yeah, that's what it's about, psychologically.
Perhaps that's what you tell yourself. But at the end of the day,
No. It all makes sense.
But
with
at the end
flat
of the day, isn't that what you're doing with yourself when you can't actually prove the Earth curve, and you're looking for other people's attention? Oh yeah, flat earthers are so stupid, yet you can't actually prove them wrong by the scientific method, and then say, "Oh, there is no such thing as a scientific method," or "There's more than one way." No, there's not more than one way. There's one.
Are you getting that information?
If you can't
from
operate by that, then you're the one with the problem, and you're the one.
I mean, if you're getting your science
Looking
information
for
from
fame.
Nathan Oakley, I
I'd
think
say,
you're not gonna.
I take it you weren't like the smartest kid in the class, right?
I don't have to be the smartest kid in the class to know bullshit,
Okay.
and neither do you.
Derek is right that most people can't justify. They think they live on a globe, but they can't justify. If you ask 9 out of 10 people on the street or whatever, they wouldn't have a clue.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you
Not even 1%
take the average
can even give a
average
physical
American,
reason
they
for
probably
belief.
couldn't point the United States on a fucking...
Not even 1% of global believers can give a physical reasons for their belief. Not even 1%.
Yeah, it's like that.
Not even 1%.
You could do that with any topic. You just go around talk to random people, and most people don't know shit about data.
Yeah.
So
And most people don't know that it takes a fucking year for the Earth to go around the...
The Earth doesn't move at all.
Well, you know what I mean,
So
right?
I feel like flat Earth people take advantage of the ignorance of the globe Earthers, you know, and
I'm not
Dude,
trying
you
to
fucking
take
lost your
advantage.
debate and you called in your little faggot friends, dude. You need a group to help defend you.
And P, I mean, the first time I spoke to you, if you really think I was trying to take advantage of you when I was trying to, like, provide information for you, dude, I mean, you're a terrible person.
well, I mean, I don't think you were trying to, but I think you were probably trying to do what you thought was right.
I was a Glober, you asshole.
Yeah,
I'm presenting you real stuff, and you're treating me like shit.
Well, I mean, when I first came I watched flat Earth videos. I thought the Earth might
So,
be
P.
flat,
Mars, how
but,
long have you been a homo?
3 years. But when I watched flat Earth videos, and I thought the Earth might be flat because I didn't understand. I don't know anything about science, you know. And when you watch,
I mean, it
these
must be
videos-
real pesky how everything measures flat when you're a glober. It must be real frustrating.
Flat
Must be
Earthers-
real frustrating how they keep losing all the data. Must be frustrating how every picture of Earth keeps changing the landmass size.
Flat Earthers
Must-
make
must-
good arguments. Like if you don't understand the topics, like flat Earthers make some good arguments. I think.
Oh yeah, because you can totally measure curve, but we have no data, can never measure it. That's called a fucking bullshit idea, dude. Sorry.
And when we all we observe is for real flat Earth. Everywhere. No matter
and besides,
where
you
you
lose
go.
the debate, so you have to call in your friends. This is what you do when you lose a fight. You fucking grab a gang of people. You're a bitch, dude.
I'm a coward.
Yeah, no shit. I can see that. I should
Well,
probably.
you know what? Maybe they need to hear it too. But anywhere you go on Earth, when you're looking out an airplane window, granted, if it excuse me, if it's not entirely curved, where you can look out the middle of it, you see a flat Earth. I mean, imagine 1960s planes where the windows were entirely flat, not curved. That's all they would ever see, because that's what you're seeing in real life. But in like today's planes, it does skew the horizon.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I mean, when you're talking about, like, oh, I've seen the curve at 30,000 feet, that's where they get it from.
30,000.
So it's not
Yeah.
out of their own imagination, but they're just simply not looking at the reality of it.
Yeah, I just Googled because the guy said you had to be 150 miles to see the curve. And so I Googled it, and Google said you only had to be...
So why were you telling us that we could see it at 60,000 feet?
Because I read this article where this guy did the math, and he said
God dang, man.
it's visible to the human eye at about
No, it's not.
50,000 feet and very noticeable at 60,000 feet.
No, it's not.
And then I'm reading in an article here. It says, from a friend who was a military pilot and sources such as many...
And so, I mean, can we at least agree that that article isn't accurate?
What are... No, I think 55,000, 60,000 feet is about a good number to say when you can see the curvature with your naked
So
eye.
you disagree with Neil deGrasse Tyson?
I guess I do. I don't know what he said. I'm not an expert on Neil deGrasse
You
Tyson.
cannot see curve below 120,000 feet at all anywhere on Earth.
I don't think that's...
He is the world's foremost astrophysicist.
No, he's not the most foremost.
And
He's
you
a fucking
disagree with
popular
him.
astrophysicist.
Dude, so I mean, you're trying to tell me that you and him are on the same side when you disagree with them.
Well, someone accused me...
Do you not see a conflict of
Neil
interest?
deGrasse Tyson is an authority.
But wouldn't that be like me saying...
According to mainstream science? Yeah.
But Derek, wouldn't that be like me saying...
Mainstream science, really.
Derek, that would be like me saying...
Are you an astrophysicist? No?
But you can't... It doesn't matter what he said just because we're both globe
It does
Earthers.
matter what he said because that's what people are brought up to believe.
But that'd be like if I said, well, the flat earthers say that the Earth is a disc flying upwards through space.
So I don't, I don't believe that. Don't.
I know you don't believe that, so like just because some flat earther said that doesn't matter, right? Because you don't believe it. Just like
And
it
so,
doesn't
dude,
matter
I
what
mean-
Neil deGrasse Tyson says, right? 'Cause-
Okay, let's
'cause
just
we
tone it
both
down. Just
agree.
hear me out for a second. Like, I mean, let's just say flat Earth were entirely bullshit. Let's just say, right? Would we make a Bigfoot website? Let's say, for all the people who believe in Bigfoot. Like, oh yeah, we believe in Bigfoot, but this Bigfoot has wings.
right.
That's basically what the Flat Earth Society does.
Right. That's what
I mean, why the fuck would you? Why would you even do that?
That's what
if there was no
that's what Neil
substance
deGrasse
to it?
Tyson does too.
And perhaps so, because I'm not, dude. I'm trying to tell you that he's not on your team and you're not on his.
I know. I'm white.
All right. Well, at least we can agree on that. All right. I mean, so.
Yeah.
But yet, I mean, he's the one who's promoted so often in so many science channels where he's all like,
That's his role. He's not so much of a scientist as he's like a science
an
communicator.
actor. You're saying?
Yeah, he's an actor.
Is that why he is in so many movies? Is what you're saying?
Einstein was the same thing. They're like Bill Nye. These are like actors. They're not real scientists. Einstein was a total fraud too.
And right, and so what we are actually trying to obtain is real science, real common ground. I mean, despite all of our angst with each other, right, over the years, what we want is what we can be able to verify to each other, right?
I mean, the flat earthers say they want to do experiments and do real science, but then all they do is drink alcohol and smoke weed. So, I mean, your actions speak louder than your words. So, you know, like if I was on the outside looking towards the flat earth, I would just see a bunch of like sex addicts and drug addicts, not people that are like scientists, you know. Also, like,
obviously, you don't know much about mainstream science. They do a lot of drugs. Have you not seen Neil deGrasse Tyson taking stogies at a time?
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's got groupies too, and yeah.
And no, I don't actually smoke weed. I do drink a little bit, but I mean, not much.
I've been watching a lot of flat earth hangouts on YouTube, and there's like people like Jibby Jedi and this Felix people, and they get completely obliterated, and they just sit there and talk horse shit on like every day.
Well, that's not healthy, of course.
Helio Skeptic gets drunk like every night and talks flat earth to people every fucking night. Like I've seen him.
I know. I've tried to back him up for that myself. And I'm not a stranger to drinking, as you I mean, several of you guys know. So.
Yeah, I used to drink a lot too.
Yeah, it's not healthy.
It's not fun.
No, and it's not.
And I do smoke. I want to quit smoke, like, because I'm a hypocrite, because I smoke weed, and I gotta quit doing that. It's not.
But at the same rate, I mean, I'm not going to fault you for smoking weed. I would just say that as long as it doesn't rule your life, it's all right.
I feel like the elite, I don't know, want us to do these drugs. Like they're legalizing weed now and stuff, and like they want us all stoned and drunk and stuff, and then we won't be a threat to them. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're real truthers, we gotta.
Well, perhaps there's some common ground there, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, because I agree with that. I really do.
Yeah, because I read Aldous Huxley. You know, he wrote Brave New World, and he talked about that they would use pharmacological methods to enhance the effectiveness of their propaganda and brainwash people basically to love their servitude. And I pretty much see that's what society is doing.
And I think you and me would agree to nuts that.
Yeah, and it's bad. It's like you're using it to escape problems. So,
I mean, I have used it in times past to it, you know. Oh man.
Yeah, it's really it's an easy way out.
But I have adapted. For thankfully, I'm not shit-faced. Where in times past, I'm pretty sure that you've seen me in groups where I was.
I think this Discord stuff or like YouTube Hangouts can enable the drinking and stuff too. Because when I was like drinking every other day, and then I felt like I had to be drunk to stream, or I had to be drunk to talk to people on the internet because it like make me.
And how is that quality? That's I mean, it takes so much substance away from
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you, 100%. Like where we actually want to engage, like each other, like sober, uh, genuine, and for crying out loud, gentle.
I do think the flat Earth is cool though, because like I think we shouldn't act like science is this arbiter of truth, and you can't question science. Like even if I don't agree.
Well,
with
see,
the flat
right,
Earth.
okay, like science in its true nature, it's meant to be scrutinized. Because if it can't be scrutinized, it's not real science.
Right, and then it's ridiculous. Like there's people that act like flat Earth is a huge threat because it's making people ignorant, and it's like that's not what's making people ignorant. Like these fucking people who rule us want us to be ignorant. It's the education system. It's our entertainment. That's what's making us ignorant, and they want to like blame
that's I would want to call like one leg of the octopus type thing.
Yeah. And then these like asshole fucking skeptics who are ignorant themselves, like Fight the Flat Earth or whatever, they want to like blame society's ignorance on flat
I talked to
Earth.
him too. I talked to him too, and he was really receptive of what I talked about. Where I don't want to just straight up fight people over this.
So how we were talking earlier about how it's a controlled rollout, like the CIA is promoting it.
Actually, it is. Yeah. It's a legit thing. Yeah.
And you can see like how the media is promoting it in a way where like we need to
take
away.
And so, but we can also see what they were trying to gauge.
But they're making it. They're making it be like a threat, right? Like if flat Earth is a threat, it's gonna make people ignorant. So then they want to like take away our freedom of speech and shit, and like.
And not to that, because I don't agree with that one iota.
I think that's what the angle they're going, because they're like they made it okay to change the algorithm on YouTube and censor flat Earth and all that and other conspiracies. How they're doing that. So it's like flat Earth gives them.
About that.
Yeah, so it's like they're using flat Earth as an excuse to sort of censor truth, I guess. Flat Earth, among other things, like this.
Well, but they're encountering a problem, especially with us.
And like the anti-vaxxer stuff too, like they want to make it so you can't even talk about being anti-vaccine. Like you have to have this opinion.
I'm anti-vax.
Well, I am too. I'm anti-vax too. That's why, like, I probably agree with flat Earth people more than I disagree about things.
And no, but I mean, like the server we're on right now. I mean, it used to be controlled op.
Right, they won't let you talk about vaccines. I remember that. Yeah,
right. And so now what's happened as of recent, I mean, it's basically like a FE Civil War type thing, I mean, we're not putting up with the fucking controlled rollout people anymore. We're done. I mean, so it's like, I mean, there's a lot of common ground here.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
It should be obvious to people, because it's like, how many flat Earth people are there on YouTube? But it's like the same 5 people show up in the media every fucking time. It's like really suspicious.
That's a coincidence. No, it's not. They are there because they have been endorsed to be by the media.
Exactly.
And like Rick Hummer will say, they get a script to read, like for radio or TV, and you cannot deviate from it.
Yep.
And so we're not putting up with that crap anymore. We're really not. Here? No. Done. Like, all the people who used to be in charge here before are gone. Fuck them. Even though they used to be flat Earth, or they are flat Earthers even now, it doesn't matter. They were not willing to speak up against this type of crap. But we are. Like FE Corps.
I only heard their side of the story.
They need to be buried. Because, I mean, what they've done is absolutely inexcusable if you're a real flat earther. And even if you're a globe earther, I mean, oh boy. I mean, they are really guilty of perjury. No matter, even if like Bob Nodell comes out with a video saying he said that he did an experiment how like a gyroscope showed 15 degrees of motion, but he won't show you the experiment. That video in particular wasn't necessarily for you, even though it fueled Glover. It was for the federal government because of the organization he's in with FE Corps, where they signed a 501c3 that they won't actually go against mainstream stuff, is basically what it entails. And if you're a real flat earther, why would you do that? It doesn't make any so it's like there's no wiggle room. Either you're lying to the federal government with that video. He's basically saying he's not lying to the federal government, but he's lying to the rest of flat earthers. That he doesn't actually have our interests in mind. He's lying.
Hi, Rudy.
Hi. Actually, I'm an engineer. I was going through the flat conspiracy theory, so I thought to join you and ask you a few questions.
What?
Okay. So, do you have any clue that scientifically you can prove that Earth is flat, or is it just a theory or concept?
Crying out loud. Do I really need to go over this with this dude? Again,
I don't
when
know.
we are having
I
such
don't
a
know
productive
this guy.
discussion.
Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna ask you about. I thought it was fucked up how FE Corps struck Barkane's video or copyright striked him because it's like.
And I think that's bullshit.
Yeah,
dude, FE Corps
Flat
has
Earthers
been
shouldn't be
lying.
censoring people. That's the thing. Like Flat Earthers should be about everything's.
I mean, if we believe what we believe, fine. We should be striking your shit, right?
Right. That's how I feel. It's like Flat Earthers should be the last person to censor people because Flat Earthers should be about asking.
But there's also a compounded problem where FE Corps is lying to other Flat Earthers, where they're trying to purport to be with all their experiments, like basically a voice for Flat Earth. But at the end of the day, they're shaking hands with the federal government that they will never go against them as far as our disagreements with heliocentrism. Basically creating a quagmire that will never end.
Yeah, I think that's what they want. Yeah.
Right. That's why they are always saying, like, oh, let's debate. Let's debate. Let's debate. Let's debate. I don't believe in debating. We can talk. We can argue. But I mean, no. As far as like saying like debate, it's a load of crap.
It's almost like the globe Earth side is in on it too, because if
because they do control both sides. Like Bob, I
like fight the
I
flat Earth.
I don't even want to get too into it, but I mean,
fight the flat Earth. Like he puts up this front that he wants to destroy the flat Earth, right? But if that were to happen, then he
was really receptive to my conversation with him, so I don't think.
Well, maybe he's not a good example, but I don't know. There's like people that act like flat Earth is the worst thing ever. But then if flat Earth didn't exist, they wouldn't have any YouTube channels or any viewers or anything. So
perhaps
they kind of depend on each other to have this argument, and then it generates money on YouTube, I guess, or whatever.
But either way, I mean, there is a common ground where, I mean, as far as this server goes now, I mean, contrary to the former power structure, they were pro FE Corps, and we are not. We want them gone. Because they're lying. Either to us or to the federal government. And to you.
Did you ever hear about that weird stuff about Ace McCloud and like little kids?
I got a little wind of it, but I mean, there's so much of that going on.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, dude, you can attack my character all you want. I mean, I do drink. Come on, man. I endure a lot of shit. Okay. And that's like all I do. Yeah, and not all I do. Drink. I mean, I spend so many days sober, and then I'll drink or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a hypocrite.
I'm not a drunkard or anything, you know. It just seems to be like whenever I get on voice chat, I happen to be drinking.
Yeah.
But I spend so much time being sober, and like nobody sees it because nobody cares.
I mean, I like you, man. I think you're fun, funny, and I'm kind of on a anti-drug, anti-alcohol thing. Although I'm a
dude, I'm not even gonna fault you on that at all, man. All right? Because I agree. Yeah. I mean, dude, like being drunk.
I mean,
do that.
Life is a bitch, man. Like sometimes you need to take the edge off a little bit. Like it's understandable, like why people get into that habit.
But at the same rate, it's not an excuse. But I mean, that's what I do sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to excuse myself. So I mean, if you want to throw me under the bus in that, fine.
Like it's interesting. I don't know. I took a week. I went sober for a week recently. No smoking, nothing, and it's just.
I went for 2 months over this last summer.
That's good.
Great, nothing.
Yeah, I think like we should enjoy life, but you got like everything. I'm like a believer in moderation and balance. Like you don't.
Absolutely.
It's good to take breaks and shit, and like it's just interesting.
Right. To make sure it doesn't rule your life.
Yeah, and when you're sober, it's
like if something rules your life, then there's a problem.
It's interesting when you're sober. It's like you have a whole different mentality, and you kind of like more aggressive and angry about shit. Whereas like when I'm smoking, I'm more mellow and chill. So it's like people who are stoned and from that perspective, like they put up with more shit from the government. You know what I'm saying? But if we're like sober and we got our wits about us, then we might be more aggressive towards the government and be like, fuck that, and not put up with all the shit they're doing to us. So,
P-Mars, all your friends left. What happened?
They don't like me.
We're having a good conversation, pal. It's all right, man.
All right. Well, I didn't really, dude. When you lose debate, you have to call in your friends, dude. Like seriously, that's a bitch move.
True. That's all.
Why don't you just? This is all I'm looking for. There might be some odd stuff happening at NASA. Go ahead and repeat after me. Go ahead and say it. Just say it. Just some stuff does kind of not add up. That's all we're looking for.
I do think NASA's lying to us.
All right, thank you. See how easy it is to have critical thought? Not so hard. Did it hurt? Does your brain hurt?
I think climate change is like a fraud, right? NASA's involved in the climate change, like temperature data.
Well, obviously, can you name me? So it's almost fall now to September. When is it never ever not turn to fall in September? Can you even?
Yeah, I don't.
Does it still snow?
Yeah, it wasn't very warm here this summer, so I don't know about that global warming thing. But then I also know NASA is like.
Of course they are. They just make up their shit. But listen to this. So this is the actual ploy, and I'll get off the mic and let you guys talk. The companies that might have caused global warming, they don't need to pay shit, but we need to tax you 80%. Because you need to pay because you're alive, but we really promise not to steal money, and we're going to invent technology to save everything. Does that sound like bullshit? Or
Yeah, it sounds like bullshit. Yeah. It's like
shouldn't it be the companies that cause global warming might have to pay for it? They don't got to pay shit. That's not.
Well, they'll have to pay a tax, but then they'll just pass that tax on to the customers, right? So we'll end up paying for it.
Or that did you know that most companies, when they pay a tax, that they just put it in their right into their revenue, so they don't even have to pass it to the customer. They can just fucking pay it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that climate change thing is a total fraud. That I would really like to work on exposing that.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Google, Apple pay taxes, and Amazon? Do you think they pay taxes?
I know they get a lot of tax breaks because...
No, actually, Apple's is getting sued by 12 countries right now for not paying taxes, and Amazon and Google. They actually don't pay taxes. Yeah. Google it. They don't pay taxes.
I would believe it. But I also know like about now.
So even if you tax the companies, they're not going to pay their taxes anyway. So what have you accomplished?
I don't know. The whole money system's a fucking scam in the first place, right?
And if I could just bring it back to like me and Pete were having a good conversation.
All right, I'll mute.
All right. And okay, like we have common ground, like let's say against FD Corps, which they're so full of shit.
Well, it's
I mean,
interesting,
like,
Derek.
they, I mean, so many of their experiments, like, I mean, were legit, but at the end of the day, they come out with other bullcrap. Where I mean, it's like legitimate. They are lying, you know, so that way they can keep their 501c3 with the federal government and say basically that they're not going to go against mainstream science and that they're not flat earthers is what they're basically saying. But yet at the same rate, you know, still trying to be a voice for flat earthers.
All right, and they call it FE.
It'll be a never-ending thing where they will. That's their entire goal, where they want to continue argument. That's it.
Yeah, and like the FE stands for field engineer, not flat.
So they
Earth.
can right, and they will they just want to keep people at each other's throats.
But
in the meantime, they still want to keep making money.
They know if they call it FE core that the flat earthers will assume it means flat Earth core, but it doesn't.
That's not what it stands for. But, I mean, you're like your newcomer, yeah, that's the idea.
I mean, it's kind of like a trick in that way. I feel like, yeah. But then
because they're scamming people.
Yeah.
Like, they'll come out with experiments that, you know, like, really do purport, like, a flat Earth, and then they'll come out with other stuff. We're like, oh, well, look at this. I'm not so sure.
Well, then they had that.
The boiling point is why are you lying?
How long did they have Morgile was on their panel for years, and he was.
Oh yeah. Right, and so it's like, I mean, there's a whole cohort of these guys, which Mogile seems to be a part of. And I mean,
he was
so
obviously
it's like
scamming people for money.
So I mean, even though I've had spats with people about how like FB being a controlled rollout, I mean, I can't dismiss them because they're right.
It's interesting to hear, like, I was in the 24/7 2.0 Discord for a little bit, and their whole side of the story.
I haven't even been in there. I don't even want to go there, to be honest.
They were just acting like human sheeple went nuts, and
no, he didn't just go nuts. Like he has
everyone to be in Metatron.
No, I'm telling you, no, there's legit beef. Like, okay, like, tell me, does this make sense to you? Like Patricia Steer and Mark Sargent saying to people that they did not find out about flat Earth until 2014, like everybody else, when that, you know, supposed movement started, right? That's what they say. But they have flat Earth applications on iPhone that were made for them.
Right.
Back in 2010.
Well, and then I think it's interesting, Mark Sargent, you know, he put out that documentary, The Clues or whatever. But
right, dude.
He didn't
it was all contrived.
He never did anything since then. He hadn't made one video since then. Like, what the?
Because none of it was his work.
That's what I was thinking. Because if He probably doesn't even know how to make a video that well, right? Like someone just gave him that video.
And like, even if he is a flat earther and knows how to speak it well, like none of it was his. It was all just, it was scripted for him, is what we're saying.
Yeah, it's a total script because it's like he's saying the same things he was saying 5 years ago.
And that's what we're saying. I mean, and like with Metatron, I'm like Patricia Steer and Mark Sargent, it is proven, hands down, that they were paid by a corporation to be flat earthers. Period. And they are lying to people about how they came to be flat earthers. They're trying to tell people, oh, we didn't find out until 2014 like everyone else. When there's, I mean, you can't explain it away legitimately how the company they work for made those applications for them, specifically flat earth applications that are meant for data mining 4 years before they espoused flat earth. There's no explaining it away, not unless you can say that the company they work for can predict the fucking future.
Yeah.
No way.
People think YouTube is real.
So they're lying. They're lying. Period.
YouTube is just as fake as TV, right? Like they're just actors and they have scripts.
And so you remember me back when I was like a mod for like Robbie Davidson on Celebrate Truth, don't you?
I never really went to Celebrate Truth. I never went to that channel. I don't know Robbie Davidson.
Oh, well, I was a mod for him on Discord too. There's like 1,000 some odd people there, and man, I'm telling you, oh my God, he got Patricia Steers and Mark Sargent's back at every opportunity over actual Christians.
Right.
Where, I mean, scripturally, that does not add up.
Right.
Like, you do not, you know, sit at the same table of demons and expect to still sit at the table of the Lord, which is what he was purporting to be.
He's probably just pretending to be a Christian to get money from Christians.
To be honest, I mean, it's why it perplexed me for so long. He was a real Christian. He really was. But now it's like he's selling them out.
There are Christians that aren't
denying the Lord who bought him type thing.
There are Christians that aren't really Christians, that they just see like it is a way to make money, right?
I'm not interested in money. You should know this about me by now. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying.
Dude, I'm able
like
to
those Christians on television. They like sit in gold chairs and ask for money and shit like that.
I'm not even interested in
those aren't real Christians, right? They're just.
I don't want your money. All I care about is
like Robbie Davidson seems like a money person to me, though.
Well, of course he is. Absolutely, because he is. I mean, he's like, oh, just donate here at my Patreon or PayPal account. And like his whole series, like about like scientism exposed, that was generated in like with The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. He helped him make that, along with Brian. Crap, I can't remember his last name.
I heard Robbie Davidson does lots of conferences too. It's like he's a professional conference host.
Yeah, but whatever. He's a sellout, so I don't care. And I used to mod for the dude. And anyway, is what I'm saying. He's lying also. Like, he always keeps getting the back of these people who have corporate interests, private investment interests, who knew the Earth was, for all intents and purposes, they are saying they knew the Earth was flat before there was a flat Earth movement. And they were all in cohorts, all on the same team, along with like Karen B defending FE Core with Rick Hummer and all that, whole slew of people, along with Jaron, Bob Nodell. You know, even if they are flat earthers, it doesn't matter. They're still lying to the rest of flat earthers about their intent.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And I'm not in bed with lying to people. Ever. I mean, I can be a piece of shit. I may, like, you know, drink too much from time to time, but my genuine person, where at the end of the day, I don't want to leave you with a bitter, sweet taste in your mouth where I'm lying to you. I want you to be able to walk away from me, like, you know, considering some things.
Yeah, they're con artists. It's a big difference. Yeah. It's totally fucked up. They're like taking advantage of other people.
Right, that's precisely.
Taking their money.
Along with like Antonio Suvaret, you know, and like they have a whole slew of people.
Like it lets.
And they're all the main SD superstars or whatever they call themselves. And that's how they think of themselves and treat each other. And it's sick.
If I had no integrity, right, like I could just go on YouTube and pretend to be a flat earther and pretend to be a Christian and then like ask for donations and shit.
Yeah, well, right. And so years ago, like in 2014, if you had done that, you probably would be your own superstar. You know? And also, like, I mean, there's other people who came out afterwards, like 2015, 16, whatever. Like Flatworth or something like that. That dude's a sellout too.
You gotta play that like social game with the other con artists. Don't step on their toes. Like how Nathan Oak.
Like the only way you even gain like in crowd with them is if you can prove that you're like also. I mean, I can't prove it, but it seems like if you're like a Freemason.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you've taken an oath to keep secrets.
I seen this article that said a lot of these flat Earth people of the past were Freemasons, like Samuel Robotham, for example, and it listed a bunch of famous flat Earthers from history, and they were all connected to Masonry. So that's pretty suspicious if that's true.
I'm not going to deny that.
Or like Matt Powerland, he went to a Jesuit university.
You think that's a coincidence?
Right.
I don't. I mean, I was talking to him just yesterday, and I mean, from a biblical point of view, he's so full of shit.
Yeah, he did a fucking gay scene, right? So it's like,
oh, you want to be a Dover or something like that? I mean, when he's talking about the firmament, when it says specifically there is a firmament in Scripture, just saying, I mean, you can contort the context all you want.
I think
that's what it says.
It's pretty obvious.
And he doesn't believe, and he says he doesn't believe in it at all.
It's like he tried to be.
It doesn't make any sense.
He tried to go to Hollywood and be famous. He did that gay scene thing or whatever.
And so many of these guys, like Patricia Steer and Mark Sargent, have contracts with Hollywood. That's why they were in that documentary.
They couldn't make it in Hollywood, so they're like, oh, Flat Earth on YouTube.
Right. They're like the C-rated actors, basically.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not an actor. I'm legit. I got nothing to gain and nothing to lose.
I think that whole thing, remember with Patricia and Antonio living together? That was so weird.
oh yeah, drinking pee.
I did a video.
Oh my god! Excuse me. Oh my god.
One of the first videos I ever did on my channel was about the pee drinking. Because that's actually like linked to Satan.
Antonio's a likable guy. I mean, I know.
But you know that's linked. There's a link to drinking urine and satanic cults because like Satan is about.
Yeah, that's what they do because it's like a form of disrespecting your tempo.
Yeah, it's like Satan is all about perverting nature, doing the opposite.
Right.
What you're supposed to do. It's like gay.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Like gay
sex. And then they try to get other people to do it too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sick. And I'll leave you with a little bit of advice. Don't drink your pee.
Yeah.
Don't eat shit.
So like,
Please.
it's bullshit. I seen it on a hangout. Antonio Subarats was calling.
Shut up, bitch. You haven't got pushy talk on.
me a few times.
Shut up, bitch.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he can shut the fuck up.
Antonio Subarats was calling people pussies for not drinking their urine, and
Yeah.
and then I confronted him about it, and he said that he never even did it himself. And a lot of these people, like Haunted House, they went on Patricia's show and told people to drink their urine, but they didn't even do it themselves. The fuck?
Right. They're just trying to goad people.
It's like what can we get these like idiots to do? You know, if we tell
Right,
them to do
right.
it.
They just want people to hang on their every word, and they are part of like the controlled op on that side. They just are. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you to drink your fucking pee.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather be the only flat earther on Earth rather than these fuckers fuck with your mind. Huh.
Yeah, that shit's gross. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, but we agree.
But yeah, I linked that to like Satanism. Oh, and then Jeranism has a fucking video. I guess he does a website where he sells occult books by like Aleister Crowley books. And
Oh
shit.
yeah, no, he's been doing that for a long time.
And
Yeah.
he had a video. I did a video about this where he talked about he insinuated that Aleister Crowley was a flat earther, like he wanted flat earthers.
Well, he could have been, but that doesn't. I mean, like for example,
But
like
he wanted people to read Crowley's books. That's what I thought was fucked up.
Oh, right. Well,
he's like, oh, he's a flat earther. You should read his books.
right. Oh, therefore, he should believe what he says or something like that. Yeah.
And Crowley
because he's a flat earther.
Crowley was a totally fucked up dude, and he was like.
I mean, I'll tell you, like even during biblical times, everybody was a flat earther. That doesn't mean everybody was good. In fact, very few were. Like, just being a flat earther doesn't make you good.
He tried to make it. He tried to make Crowley seem sexy, being like, "Oh, they don't want you to read Crowley's books. You should read them, though."
Fuck him. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Because he's lying to you.
He's like using flat Earth.
And excuse my language. I don't even mean to curse. But I mean, just no.
He's just using flat Earth to like advertise
right.
books for his website.
Using it to make money. That's why they filed for a 501c3 with FE Core, which Jiren is a member of.
Right.
So
and
that,
then, I seen at the
so
end.
So that way, I mean, the whole idea is that if they get donations, they, a 501c3 allows them to keep more money, and also at the same time, it creates more havoc for real flat earthers, where we have to keep arguing. Like, oh, what about that experiment that Bob said he did? Where he's not actually giving the actual experiment, where we can all see what he's talking about. He's not doing that. And so it just creates a nonstop circle of nonstop debate, which is also what Robbie Davidson from Celebrate Truth was trying to do. He's like, let's debate. Let's keep it going round. Or Nathan Oakley, let's keep it going round and round. Merry go round and round. While they're all making money and while we're all at each other's throats. It's sick. They make money while we hurt each other.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
I mean, do you get it yet?
Yeah, dude, I was one of the people trying to help, like, political hillbilly, right? He was totally scamming people. He was lying about his wife being sick and needing medicine, and then asking for money to pay for the medicine, but it was all paid for by the government. And people were sending him weed, and people were sending him money, and then he'd go, "Oh, I didn't get the weed or the money. Send it again," and they'd send it to him again. She's like, it was all lies, and I don't think he was a flat earther.
I remember a bit of that too.
Yeah, he got exposed. They found out he was conning, and like I've been trying to. I don't know.
I remember him saying like acting like he didn't get enough or something like that. Yeah.
And he got caught, and that's why he's not in the community anymore, because he was like
good.
But I don't know.
I mean, good fucking riddance. Excuse my language. I don't mean to
part of
like
me
that,
feel,
but that's the way I feel.
Yeah, I don't really like it when people con other people out of money, right? So if I see
you and me both, man, dude, I don't want your money.
If I see that, I want to say something, but then also, let's say you're getting conned by someone, and I convince you that, and then you stop following that person, you might end up getting conned by someone else now that cons you even worse. So I don't know. It's like, sometimes I think maybe these people are just destined to want to. It's like they want to be conned or something at the same time. I don't know. There's like a weird relationship there going on.
Well, I have a healthy habit of not giving money to anyone.
That's good. They try.
Unless they are in actual desperate need. But
well,
dude,
there's so many scams. Even a lot of these like charities, they get found out that these charities are like fraudulent and stuff. And
big time. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them where they just take your money and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna,
only pennies on the dollar go towards actually helping.
Right.
Like, most of the money goes to just funding the charity.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So
it only takes $1 a day or something like that. They pocket like 98 cents of it or something like that.
I think money's like.
It's terrible.
Money's like fucked up. Money just creates this like system of control, but then they attach morality to money, and it's like, oh, you're a good person if you give your money, you feel good. I don't know. It's like money and morality shouldn't money shouldn't matter at all. I don't know, but unfortunately, that's not a reality. People worship money, but it's not. All it is like it's a tool for the.
Well, I mean, in my case, I've made it rather a point where like other Christians may think of me as like lazy or something like that, but no, I purposely made it a point to not make much money and not ask for money, because that's not my goal. Because I want to make it a point that I genuinely care about the truth, no matter where you come from, no matter the state.
Yeah. That's what I like about Jesus. Like Jesus hung out with
right, and he said that, like, when it comes down to like being a disciple for Christ, which
some Christians don't even try and be like Christ, which is like weird, but
well, I try,
Jesus,
and of course, my fault, but
Jesus would hang out with like the people who were outcasted, like the prostitutes and the lepers.
But these weren't people who were like just like, let's say, in willing sin. These were people who were wondering what they could do, even though they were in sin, to they needed hope. There's such a difference, man, between people who are like in a commitment to keep doing wickedness versus people who want a way out.
But then it's interesting, the story of Jesus, like all he did was like tell people the truth, and they hated him for it, and they crucified it. So it's like, if you try and save people, they'll crucify you. That's what the message.
Yeah, I'm ready for that, man.
it's fuck. We live in this like backwards world where the masses will follow these evil people, and then all the good people.
I mean, it's why masses don't follow me. You know, I mean, I'm not telling you to follow me. I mean, I'm telling you to like just listen to what Jesus said. You know. I mean, and these, you know, like companies like Medtron or organizations like FE-Core, I'm telling you right now, they hate what me and others are saying about them. They really do. They hate it because we're telling the truth. And I mean, we are actually like receiving death threats.